how are you feeling about the final book getting out there?
Mixed feelings. It's a bit bittersweet. I'm really excited to have the final book get out there and have, readers see where all the characters ended up. Hopefully feel like it's a fitting right place for them, but at the same time, it's sad to say goodbye to them after such a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously the book is absolutely top secret, so we really don't know that much about it at the moment. What can you tell us about it?
Okay, what can I tell you? I guess I could say that it's a little bit differently structured than the previous books because it's more of a quest narrative. I think the previous Mortal Instruments books, it's been a lot of the bad guys sort of bringing trouble to our main characters and then they have to fight back. In this book, they sort of go after the trouble themselves, and in doing so, they have to travel extremely far and sort of like Frodo going to Mordor, travel through dangerous lands and fight monsters and whatnot. So for me, it was interesting to kind of change up the structure and do this kind of like, great quest at the end of all of the adventures.
And do you think there's anything in there that might shock fans?
I think that there's some deaths that surprised me. One or two where I thought, oh, I didn't know this character was going to die, and then they did die. And I think that there's especially like one or two moves towards the end of the book that I think people are going to be very shocked or surprised or taken aback by.
Okay. Speaking of deaths, you have been quite cutthroat in the past in your writing, kind of getting rid of characters that you kind of don't see coming. Are there any characters that you kind of regretted getting rid of, maybe, at any point?
No, I never regret. Just move on like a shark. But no, because I usually plan ahead. I know that the character's going to die pretty much when I bring them in. There's only been, I think, one character that was supposed to die that was saved by a last-minute intervention by one of my friends. And that was Henry in the Infernal Devices. And she wouldn't let me kill him. But then there was actually only one character in City of Heavenly Fire that I hadn't planned on dying, but then as the book developed, I realized that was the sort of the arc of that character, that they were going to have to die, and I felt bad about it, but it kind of had to happen. But I don't regret doing it because I as long as I feel like it's the right thing for the story, I think it's good.
And there have been some rumours that there might be a mention of some of the characters from the Infernal Devices in this book. Can you confirm or deny?
True. It's true.
Okay, so we've got that to look forward to.
Yes. Okay. If you're a fan of the Infernal Devices, then you should get a glimpse of the characters and hopefully enjoy it. If you're not a fan of the Infernal Devices, it won't throw you off.
And we have to talk about Jonathan, who is a very interesting but kind of very dark and quite frightening character. But there are a lot of fans who actually kind of fancy him as well. Do you find that weird?
No, because I think that, literature is a place where you can kind of safely explore all sorts of stuff that you want to in real life, I think that, we all have it's the same reason that we enjoy slasher movies or, any kind of dark stuff in our media or things like Games of Thrones. It's not because we would actually want to be or know these people, but it's great to enjoy them at a sort of fictional remove. And I think that Jonathan is a very intense character, and so when you're reading about him, it's exciting, and it's normal to be like, I want to get to the parts about this guy because they're exciting.
Yeah, because we know it's fiction, yeah. And do you have any kind of weird crushes in fiction? Who's your, weirdest crush?
Weirdest crush? Oh, I'm trying to think, and all of my crushes are, boringly normal. In fiction, Moriarty, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I can see that,
I fancy Moriarty. I don't think it's just the TV show. I did before even the TV show. I always wanted a criminal mastermind boyfriend.
And if you could ride off into the sunset with any fictional character ever, who would it be?
Mr. Darcy.
Oh, nice. Good choice. Always a good choice. And you started out writing Harry Potter fan fiction as well. Do you kind of ever read any of the kind of fan fiction about your writing online?
Well, technically you're not supposed to, which is one of those weird rules that sort of gets handed down, that legally you're not meant to read fan fiction of your own work, but sometimes I'll read my friends' fan fiction of their work, and they'll read fan fiction of my work, and they'll sort of tell me what's happening, and I'll be like, oh, really? And I'll read their stuff and tell them what's going on. So sometimes they'll report back to me, that they read some very racy, Luke Isabel fan fiction, and I'll be like, no, I wouldn't have thought of that. But all right then.
I love it. And obviously you've got the Dark Artificers series coming as well. Is there any kind of hints that you can tell us about that? Because kind of we don't know too much about that at the moment.
You do meet the characters who are the main characters of the Dark Artificers in City of Heavenly Fire, Julian and Emma, and only they're younger in COHF, and it's kind of, for me, it was a little fun to write their perspectives because you get to see Jason Clary and the others from the point of view of Shadowhunters who are much younger. So to them, they're like, oh my gosh, Jason's like he's a member of One Direction or something. They're like, oh my god. And I thought that was quite cute and fun. But by the time that we get to Dark Artificers, they're of course 17, 18. They're nearly adults, and then the story sort of becomes theirs. And I think that at the end of City of Heavenly Fire, you get the sense of a sort of passing of the torch to the next generation to kind of carry it forward. And then the Dark Artificers is set in Los Angeles, which is actually where I grew up. So I'm really excited to set a book there and get to write about, someplace that I know the feeling of what it's like to grow up there.
And do you have any advice for kind of people who want to get into writing but maybe just have no idea where to start?
Well, if they really feel like they have no idea where to start, I think it can often seem overwhelming, the idea of sitting down to write like a novel. So don't think of it as a novel. Think of it as break it down to 100 words a day. That's really not that much. They probably type as much on Twitter in a day. That's 10 tweets. So then just think, I'm going to, write 100 words every day. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to look at what I have, and I'm going to realize, that I have 3,000 words. And then by the end of the year, I'm going to have, 36,000 words, and that's nearly a book in and of itself. And so if you start small and don't frighten yourself with how much you have to do, I think that can really help.
Yeah, it definitely makes it sound like less of a kind of mountain.
Yeah. Otherwise it's too, every mountain climb starts with a single step. So, just take the one step a day.
Yeah, amazing. And to finish off, because it's a City of Heavenly Fire, we've got a quick fire quiz for you. So I'm just going to give you stuff, so just give me your first answer, immediate reaction. Okay, so mortal or immortal?
Immortal.
Vampires or wolves?
Vampires.
Elizabeth Bennet or Jane Eyre?
Elizabeth Bennet.
Nice. Will or Jace?
I can't choose. No, that's impossible.
Sorry,
Waste.
Real book or ebook?
A real book.
Fairy ring or mortal sword?
Mortal sword.
Nice. Infernal devices or mortal instruments?
Oh, I can't decide there either. I can't choose. It's like choosing between my own children.
Gus from The Fault in Our Stars or Peter from The Hunger Games?
Peter.
Nice.
Sorry, John.
And last one, cliffhanger or happily ever after?
Oh, happily ever after.
Nice, I like it. Good. Well, thank you so much. It was lovely to speak to you.
Thank you. It was lovely speaking to you as well.
I'm very excited to read the book. Finally, when we can.